Coming to you live from downtown Detroit, this is Benzinga's PreMarket Prep with your host, Joel Elconin.
This is a volatile puppy here, isn't it?
And Dennis Dick.
I'm bidding a penny. I will buy the stock for a penny.
With everything you need to start your trading day.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this Wednesday pre-market prep. I've got some new friends in the background. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin, Dennis Dick with you this morning. What are we talking about, guys? We're talking about Bitcoin, more Bitcoin stocks, 13F. So I want to hit on the Berkshire Hathaway 13F from last night, see what stocks Warren Buffett bought and what stocks he sold last quarter. We got a couple of earnings on our radar, but we know you don't care about that, right? Spotify was this morning. Not Spotify, sorry. Shopify was this morning. Unless I can't get my calendar straight. Yeah, Shopify. I don't know why I wrote Spotify there. Wix.com, Wingstop, RingCentral. But we know what you want. We'll stick to the high-flying crypto stocks today. Our guest is Christian Fromhertz. He is the founder and CEO of the Tribeca Trade Group. He will join us at 8:35. In between now and then, hit that like button, hit subscribe, hit share, tweet at us, like us, do all that good stuff on the social. Joel, how are we doing this morning?
We're basically flat, Spencer. We had a nice range overnight. Found resistance just above that all-time closing high, 39.31 at 32.25. Had a little dip, 39.13. That was through yesterday's low, but the buy the dippers came in again, and just trading up a buck here at 28.75. Crude traded in the 61 handle, 61.26 at your high, trading up 89 cents at 60.94. Some problems in Texas are really restricting supply. So here we go. Got a nice run in oil. Gold's looking heavy down here, under $1,800, traded down $9, 17.89.70. That old important 17.70.80 area, that's shaking like a leaf. Silver, that's going the same way, unfortunately. That's down 11.5 cents at 27.20. Bitcoin, not a failed breakout yesterday, not for now. That open interest is staying up there. It's up $2,555 and 51,480. Wow. Triple D, 13 Fs, some earnings.
Yeah.
Where would you like to start?
It was one of those nights. It was pick-off Denny night. I know when you're running market-making programs and you're on 13F night, you should back off, but I'm like, boom, short Verizon, boom, short Chevron, boom,
you
short
shorted
Exxon,
stocks?
boom, short
you
Exxon.
Shorted stocks?
You short stocks.
Oh,
within
man,
about 2 seconds, I was short for. So here's within like 1 second. I'm short Verizon, I'm short Chevron, I'm short Exxon, short XLE because it's full of Chevron. All boom, 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 boom. I was like, I don't even have to look at the headline, but I know who that is. I'm like, so I just immediately turn around and lift the next offer that's right beside me. And, if you're quick, you can be caught on the wrong side of the news. Verizon, I think I got short like 54.5. I go to lift like the 54.60. I get filled like 54.40 because somebody else has come in and say, oh, what's going on? And they'll sell it there. And obviously, I had an inkling that, when you see moves like that, boom, 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 it's Buffett. Covered the Chevron immediately, covered the XLE immediately. Somehow, barely lost money. So that's just knowing you're on the wrong side of the trade and immediately reacting and saying, I'm caught. And I bet Buffett just reported in his 13F that he's long all these stocks that I just shorted. So I got picked off by the news algo. And luckily got out quickly because Verizon now up $2.33.
Wow.
Chevron now up $3.87. I turned around and bought MMC. But then it got silly and went all the way to 120. I did not get out up there. I tried. I just missed it. And anyways, it's come back down. It's not up nearly as much, which is actually surprising because smaller company. But, man, Buffett moves stocks.
You put a nail in that oil coffin maybe a little bit too soon yesterday. You and Warren are on opposite ends of this trade here.
I don't even know what I said.
Oil stocks?
I have no idea what I said. I said I hate oil stocks long term. I have no idea where they're going short term.
Okay.
So did they go up yesterday? Yep.
I'm just talking about Warren long term thinks they're going up, just opposite sides.
Oh yeah, long term. Yeah, if he's buying Chevron, he obviously does. I think he's on the wrong side of the trade. I'm not a fan of oil stocks at all, but he wants to come in. But let's be honest, 45 days ago, where was Chevron? 45? Well, I guess Chevron was paying in the same area, 85, 87, 88. So he's coming in. He's a value guy. Okay, yep. Verizon, PE. We talked about Verizon.
That's crazy for this to be up this much, Dennis. That is crazy. $2.30 made a new low of the move yesterday. That's a big move.
But this market is all about moves getting overdone. I mean, that's what this market is about. You know, it's going to get said on CNBC 100 times today that he bought Verizon and Chevron. Every time they say it, there's other people, I got to go buy that. So, I completely agree. It's overdone, but just come in and fade the move. Like, to full, I shorted those stocks, not because Buffett. As soon as I heard Buffett was long, I turned around and covered them for whatever, I can get out on. And if you're really quick, you can often, on a Verizon Chevron, you can get out without too much damage.
Correct.
Like I said, somehow I barely lost anything, which is incredible considering I'm way on the wrong side of the trade. I should have turned around and got long them all, but I was just happy I didn't get destroyed. So, anyways,
you think there's enough? I know Verizon's trade. I haven't checked the volume here yet in Verizon. It's probably pretty good, but boy, there's going to be, especially with 418,000. I mean, where did you close yesterday? There's going to be a lot of paper in the book to get this thing up here. I'll just look at 56.5 to 57. The pre-market highs at 56.5. There was another high at 57. I mean, we settled on we made a new low at 53.83. So you got to chew through the paper and all the 54 handle, all the 55 handle, half of the 56 handle. Boy, oh boy, it's going to take a lot of buying. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be buying this thing off the open and then have it go like even a nickel against me. I don't know about shorting it, but man, oh man. 57, that looks like a good level too. And then you mentioned CVX. That's a little bit thinner of a stock. That one got the initial spike to 98 and then backed off. So let's get back up to 98 in this one. Take that out for the move to continue. You even look like you have a selling interest here just above 97, over the last 45 minutes.
So it wasn't just those two stocks, though.
Sure.
He did take a new stake, as you mentioned, in Chevron and Verizon. Also took a new stake in Marsh and McLennan. Ticker is MMC. Wow. That one popped, but the move was over in like a second.
I traded it. I was part of the pop, so because I got burned, and I saw MMC, and I bought this thing over 116, so I paid up for it a little bit. It went to 120 literally 10 seconds after I bought it. It went 120 bid for like 1,500 shares. I tried to hit it, but it went really fast, and then I had to Then you're like, okay, it's not going back to 120, but you're looking at a 116 bid down there, and you're trying to work the order. So you do your best to work out of what you can, and it actually went all the way down to 115. I had sold most of it by then, but I was thinking about rebuying a whole pile. Like somebody was 115 offer and they just wouldn't move. But then I'm like, do they know something? Is something else happening here? Is this going to be like one of those screw the Buffett buyer trades? You start questioning it. The MMC would not move. Somebody sold like 10,000 shares at 115, which is huge for this stock after hours. It was like 1,000 shares, and it was just sitting there and refreshing.
Refreshing on you?
Yeah. So I'm just looking at it. I was like, well, I'm not selling it down here, the rest of the stock I had. But I'm like, I'm not going to buy more. I should have bought more because it's 116. It's over 116 here this morning. But again, this is light volume.
You don't know. Yeah.
Well, you do kind of. You say you don't know. You kind of have, quantitative edges that usually when Buffett buys a stock, it goes up a little bit. I mean, if Verizon's going up 4% and Chevron's going up 4%, why not MMC up 4%, which will put it in that 118, 119 area? So I wouldn't be selling it here, but, funny things happen. This is not getting as much headlines as the Verizon and Chevron, even though it's a thinner stock and you think it could go more. But they're not talking about it as much. So,
this is different too, because this one is pretty close to all-time high, right? So, it hit just over one. Actually, that was really.
I don't think they care. It's just a thicker. It's a stock that doesn't move as much. So it's a good point you're making there. It's not a high beta on MMC.
It got to 120.22, and the all-time high is 120.97. So there you go. You snuck into the 120 handle. Any other? Oh, we don't care about what people sell, right?
Well, no, here I do want
nobody
to
cares
keep going on
what
that.
people
So those are his 3 new stakes, right?
Yeah.
A new stake meaning he did not own these stocks at the end of Q3. He bought them in Q4. He raised his stakes in T-Mobile, so that's a new stake in Verizon. Raised stake in T-Mobile, so he's betting on telecoms there.
Yeah.
Raised his stake in Merck, AbbVie, and Bristol Myers, so betting on healthcare.
Yeah.
And also raised his stake in Kroger, KR.
Ooh, let's go Kroger.
Betting bullish, bullish healthcare, bullish telecoms, bullish staples, right?
Again, and then you think about 13Fs and you're like, oh, yeah, well, what everybody else do? It really doesn't matter what, from my experience, it really doesn't matter what anyone else does. At least in the last year or two. It's Buffett, and then there's obviously you have Einhorn, you have Loeb, you have everybody reporting, but the only ones that really get the headlines is Buffett. He gets 90% of it. So you see other stocks, and somebody took a big stake in Macy's. It's down. I mean, it doesn't care. It's what people care about is Buffett on these 13F filings. If it's a random day, then they care about other ones. But when it's on 13F day, it's like everybody's waiting for the Buffett one, and that's what they're trading. And you're absolutely right. Nobody cares what he's selling. They only care what he's buying. It's the same thing with SEC filings. It's the same thing with Cathie Wood. And we look at her ARC buys. We never talk about her sells because you know what? The stocks that she sells typically don't go down. The only ones that go down are the ones that people are anticipating she's going to buy, and then she doesn't buy it. So, I mean, and it's like Palantir last night. We're all anticipating that Cathie is probably going to buy Palantir. It's a big down day. She likes buying the dip. She's bought the stock before. I'm like, I'm in it too. Last night I was like, I'm in it. I'm trading. I traded a lot. I was trading actively last night. I must have been in and out of it 3 or 4 times. But I wanted to be in it when that email came through because I'm like, I think she's probably bought Palantir, and there was a lot of other people that thought that too. And it is the case. She bought, I think, 1.5 million shares, so it is up this morning on that.
Yeah.
I already sold my Palantir too, so I can talk about it freely. I sold into the Cathie pop here this morning.
That one day that's not going to work, and you're going to get burned. But
why?
You're front running a.
You're not front running. You're not. There's no front running. Front running is actually it's such a term that everyone uses. I hear people using it on CNBC. Just to clarify,
you're right.
For newer listeners out there, official front running is when you have a brokerage and the broker trades ahead of their client's orders. That's what front running is. So you could say I'm getting ahead of it. I'm trying to anticipate it.
You're
it's anticipatory trading is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm anticipating that she might buy that. And there's money to be made there. Whoever did that last night is up 2.3% here right now. I mean, Goldman helps it too. They upgraded it, but it would have been up with Cathie regardless. So yeah, you're anticipating. It's a better choice of words. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're right. And then just
because front running is illegal and you go to jail for that. So I don't want to go to jail. I'm not front running anything here.
I know you said we don't care about the sales, but just to finish it up, he did trim his stake by a hair in Apple. Now he only owns 5.4% of the company. Excuse us. Cut his stake in Wells Fargo and exited his stake in J.P. Morgan and M&T Bank. So he's he's
out of J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, bullish telecom and healthcare, bearish banks. He also.
What about Bank America?
Didn't see any changes there. He also got out of Pfizer, which is interesting, and got out of Barrick Gold. So he's out of Barrick Gold. But
he's out of gold. This gold.
Did he buy Bitcoin?
No, I didn't see anything about that. No, I was wondering that myself actually.
I don't think he can get one.
I was wondering if he was going to buy Bitcoin. That would have been like.
Considering Charlie isn't a fan, I don't think he's going into it anytime soon. Maybe the new guys when Charlie and Buffett aren't running the show. Maybe then they'll buy Bitcoin. But okay, so lots of movement off the 13Fs.
Yep.
Lots of movement off Cathie again with Palantir. Let's move on. Do you want to do the couple of earnings stocks? I mean, we had about 50 stocks report. There's not that many interesting ones, but there's a few.
Shopify is interesting.
Always interesting.
Yeah, to me. So
Ooh.
Q4
huge run into the report too.
Q4 EPS $1.58 versus $1.25. Sales of $977 versus $910 million. So they beat on their EPS and their sales. Gross merchant volume exceeded $41 billion in the fourth quarter, reached $120 billion for the year. Subscription sales up 53% year over year.
It's a great quarter. The money, again, we give strategies on this show a lot, and I've given out this strategy for 7 years since we've been doing the show. The money is made buying them ahead of these reports and selling them before they report. This stock has run from $1,100 to $1,474 in a week and a half. That's a huge run-up. So it's anticipated that probably if you're buying call, they might blow it away and it's going to go higher. The easy money was already made. The easy money was made. People are anticipating, again, there's that anticipatory trade that continues to work. Anticipating that Kathy might buy Palantir, money made. Anticipating that people might buy Shopify ahead of the earnings. Didn't really go up the last 3 days, but definitely had. So it had a little earlier run than they normally do because it ran a week and a half. But if you look a week to 2 weeks before a stock reports a well-known name, they typically run up ahead of the report. Obviously, you got to consider market factors involved in that, but other things being equal, they typically show relative strength ahead of the reports.
Wow, what confluence here on this pop. You had the all-time high on the 10th at 14.9975, and on that pop, I mean, you had to be quick. It got to 99.5, and then fell apart. So there, you have 1,500. We're down 39. That's a big level. I'm looking at these three lows in the same area, and it's really hard to pinpoint numbers with, a $1,500 stock. But this 1430 area is of interest to me, and it's just below the pre-market low. If it takes that out, I don't know. There's a little bit too much downside here for me to be picking up pennies at 1430. I mean, what are you going to risk? $5-10? I mean, that doesn't even take you down to the 4-day low. But that's my area of interest. Yeah, over the next couple days, let's see if it can hold 1430.
Let it digest. Trading the stock after reports earnings. I mean, sometimes I'll report when I think it's run up a lot, and then it gets the pop on the report, and you fade to that because you think it's probably going to come back in. I didn't do it on this one last night, but it was a nice setup to do that. So you were rewarded if you were so inclined to take a short position. But apparently, a lot of our listeners can't even short stocks. So I just found out this morning. I did not know. Kevin O'Leary is just on CNBC. Says you can't short stocks in Robinhood. I just asked my Twitter chat there. I did not know that. I did not know that you cannot short stocks in Robinhood. I mean, I've never log into a Robinhood account. That's just interesting. It never came up in conversation. So I did not know that you cannot short stocks in Robinhood.
We have
no wonder everybody on Reddit hates shorting. They can't do it. Maybe we should let them do it and they wouldn't hate it so much.
We have 1,700 people here. How many people, if you're in Robinhood, put an R. If you're on Webull, put a W.
That's good.
And if you're on a other platform,
put other.
Yeah, other.
So we got R for Robinhood, W for Webull, and O for other.
And if you're on both, put RW or WR.
RW. And then we're think it's a ticker symbol, and then we'll do the analysis on RW. Lots of Robinhood, lots of Webull. Mostly Robinhood and Webull. There's some others in there. IB. A lot of those others are IB, I bet you.
Oh man, it's hard to look at that. That's too fast.
That's good though. No, I would say it was like 2/3 R's and W's. So there's I think you're swimming there too,
most people in our chat have more than one account. So I'm seeing a lot of O's.
So?
I'm seeing a lot of O's. I'm seeing a lot of.
It's always good, if you are getting serious about trading, I think you should always have two accounts, because what if one goes down? What if you have technical issues? At least you can go to the other account and at least hedge yourself or do something. You're in a position that's tanking. At least, you could hedge yourself. There's different ways to go about it. I mean, or I guess you don't short stocks, but, I just always think I always want to have a backup in case something, happens ugly. So like the technology does fail, not just at Robinhood, it fails everywhere. Once or twice a year, you're going to see a brokerage, have an issue, some type of issue. Even some of the better ones, they still have issues here and there. So connectivity, you might even have, I always say, with me, have a backup internet connection too, if you're really serious. So you don't have the outages there. But I mean, it depends how serious you are about your trade. If you're making 1 or 2 trades a day, it's not a big deal. You're doing, dozens of trades a day, it's a bigger deal. If this is your full-time job, invest in your full-time job.
Dennis, remember when we had the T1 line at the Bright office? Just the pipes going right into the exchange.
Satellite going up on the roof of the white building.
Snowing. Oh, it was snowing.
Go get the snow, Joel. Get the snow shovel. Hit the snow off that satellite. We don't have any quotes on First Alert here right now.
Joel would have to go over the roof.
Joel, we sent Joel up there with the step ladder and the snow brush and hit the snow off that satellite dish and make sure you don't knock the satellite dish over while you're doing it, or
a little bit
move
to the right.
Yeah, more.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun back in the day. Now it's easy. Just get an internet connection, you're good to go. They're all fast. You don't need anything crazy. You just need
do it from your phone, man. Right? Who needs internet?
I trade on my iPad too. But I've always got the 2 accounts because if one goes down, you need a backup just in case. But again, I'm doing this as a full-time job. I don't have a day job. Trading is my day job, so you got to invest in your day job.
And on the note of Robinhood, just PSA that the House hearing is tomorrow at noon. They're going to be grilling executives from Robinhood, from Citadel, from Melvin Capital, from Reddit. So we will be streaming that on our channel. And it's going to be several-hour affair, we think, though we don't really know, but noon Eastern tomorrow. So I would hope that we're going to learn a little bit more about what all went down.
Are we going to hear about the evil short seller?
We might. I don't know.
Why are people allowed to short stocks?
I'm surprised
they're not American. Why should you be able to bet against America?
You just said they're not allowed to short stocks.
No, I know. I guess they're not. So I guess
there we go.
They're just going to eliminate short selling, and then we'll just have bubbles everywhere, and everybody will be happy. So
maybe.
Yeah. All right. Next.
Okay.
People want to know what brokers I use. I've got Ready Plus, Thomson Reuters, that clears through Goldman, and I have Interactive Brokers. And then I got my Canadian retail, like long-term, like BMO, Bank of Montreal, and Scotia. So I actually have a few. Those are like longer-term stuff, though.
I've got Fidelity and very small account of Webull, since we're on the share.
What about you, Joel?
TradeStation, Thinkorswim.
Oh, Joel's got a few.
Wow.
I don't want. I got
That's fine.
other accounts. I don't want to mention
secret accounts. Okay.
Every time Vegas says, every time I short a stock, a small child cries. That was funny.
Let's go. Let's move on. People are getting bored.
Okay,
so talk stocks.
So every day I
time at 8:23.
Every day I go into my Benzinga Pro Movers tool, and every day the top stocks on my up filter are stocks I've never heard of, right?
Yeah,
like small cap stocks that I have never heard of before, or that I've heard of.
That's everybody's top filter,
right? It's crazy. Like yesterday it was CAN and SOS, and they're up again this morning. Today it's like Aqua Metals, right? Some small cap stock I've never heard of, and then SRAX, which we're familiar with because they sponsored the crypto special back in 2018, I think. They're back, baby, and so it's just weird. What
about Load? You didn't give Load the love.
I didn't mention Load, right? LODE, right?
The EV headline. That's all you need. Get a headline. Oh, we're getting a lithium battery. Something about lithium batteries. That's good enough for the news algos.
Yep.
Bye. 225 to 10 this morning. I think this thing hit 10.
It did. Got over 10 and 2 brackets starting to fade now. So I think you can maybe bring your offer off 10 there if you're trying to sell that today.
Yeah,
who knows? But
again.
kind of even looks like it. And the just 15-minute bar. It's like trying to find support here at 760. We'll see.
Basically, if you're seeing a smaller company with a random headline and it says blockchain, crypto,
EV.
Bitcoin, EV, or pot. Those are the ones that the algos are all over. Those are the buzzwords. You got those in there, and you just got a random headline. You have some company that wasn't potentially into this stuff before, but all of a sudden is. You got Comstock Mining, which is probably a mining stock, now saying lithium, that's a buzzword. That'll get it going. So, and these companies, don't kid yourself, kind of know what the buzzwords are too. I mean, yeah, they're getting into these businesses, but they make sure a lot of times that the buzzwords are in the initial headline as well, because they know the news algos will rip them on those buzzwords.
You still got your LTHM?
I do. I sold half of it though.
Man,
where is it? I haven't looked at it for a while.
22.77.
Yeah, I sold half of it. Right? I don't even know where I sold it. I was over 20 because we bought this with Jason around like. Well, you said it came from Gina originally. I didn't hear it from Gina, though. I heard it from Jason.
Years ago, Dennis.
Years ago. I heard it from Jason on this show, and he got it from Gene. $5 is when I bought it. So it's been a good one. I have lithium. I have 2 lithium plays. I have LAC as well. So, and that's been a good one, too, although that's off the highs. But it's trying. I sold half of both of them because, I don't know, locking some money, you don't know when the party ends. So I locked a little bit in. It's always the wrong move, though. It seems like in this market.
Always a wrong.
We got
move.
a Kathy
It seems like in this market because they just go higher.
Yeah, we're being asked about BFLY, which is Kathy Wood's been buying.
Oh yeah, she bought that last night.
That's an interesting chart there.
But it was
boy.
Yeah. This is a recent IPO, right?
Going back.
Let's look at the Kathy email from last night, which was late again. Kathy.
She's got a business to run, man.
She's got followers, though. We're all waiting patiently. Kathy, 6:30 is when she was always right on time. And last night it didn't come till, let's see the time.
I can't believe you're complaining.
7:50. It didn't come till 7:50. So, anyways, yeah, BFLY was when you get these smaller ones, those are the ones that really move. So BFLY was in there. That was a new one that we hadn't seen for a while. SGFY was the other one. That one, what's that one doing? That was move. Oh yeah, it's up $6. Woo woo, Kathy!
I never heard of that.
Okay, so
it's only been out there 3 days.
To answer the listener's question, I'm just reading this from Benzinga Pro. Butterfly Network, digital health company working towards democratizing medical imaging by making it accessible for everyone around the world to contribute to the. That's just all corporate speak. They have a groundbreaking single probe whole body point of care ultrasound solution. So it's a medical imaging company.
That's BFLY.
Yeah, boy, 22 to 24, 22 to 24. Look at that.
Was this a SPAC? I'm just looking because it traded at like that $10 area for so long, and then it blew.
It did.
It looks like that's a SPAC trade. That looks like a SPAC move.
Yeah,
back in November.
You're right. It does look like a SPAC.
Anybody know if that was a SPAC? It sure looks like a SPAC. Yeah, it was.
That's why the Benzinga Pro headlines are off because.
Oh, this is LGVW.
Because they had the ticker.
No, I didn't know that. This is the new LGVW. I traded this all the time. I did not know that.
Yeah. See, I can't even keep these straight. I was on SPAC all week. Yeah, Longview acquisition, and that's why the tickers aren't in there.
Man, they changed this stuff around so much.
Yeah, I know. I can't keep up with it.
Yeah, LGVW. I have to change that and put that in my universe. So she's been buying LGVW. So this is not a new buy for her then, because
she's been buying at 22. She's been
buying LGVW.
She's standing there at 22, saying, "Come and get me." And let's see.
That's Kathy. That's the Kathy floor right there. She's backing up the truck right there at 22. We wonder, when we see a chart like that, we're like, there's a big buyer there at 22. I wonder who that could be.
Should I do that? Is that okay to do this? To put this?
Say the Kathy bid. We don't know when the Kathy bid's done, though, is the problem. So right now you got the Kathy bid there. I think it's okay, Joel. I think it's funny.
Okay, 24. You got a sneaky seller here. 24, 24, 24. And then they said, okay, you know what? I want to see what happens when this gets above 24. And they let it go to 24.80. And they said, sell me $2 million down to 24. And then they sold $2 million down to 24, and it closed to 22.50. So, 24 is still significant to me. It did pop over there, but man, that 24.80 is kind of an outlier. We'll see what happens if it gets back up to 24 today.
Next,
hey,
let's go. The other Kathy by SGFY. This
Signify?
one I believe is a new one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only been out there 3 days.
Oh, really? Oh, boy.
Yeah, not
3
a lot of
days
data. Kathy doesn't care if it doesn't have a lot of data. She likes it. She bought 360,000 shares yesterday, so that's like a pretty good size buy.
This is really preliminary information here, but
it's only 3 days, so it's hard.
Yeah,
to
$35. Give me a look at. I mean, if you're buying here,
that's 41 though. I don't know.
I know. And you know what?
You're just saying don't chase.
Yeah, it's hard. And I don't know. Did this work in Bumble yesterday? I know people were looking at that, and I was talking about the mid range, and I didn't leave it up there, but it held there. I believe that was around 77.5, 78.
Look at that Bumble range yesterday. Wow. They hammered that thing right on the opening tick, 78 to 70, and then it bounced right off the previous day's low. Those old lows work there, Joel.
Yeah,
buyers,
and especially if you got caught it on coming on the way back up.
Yeah.
That would have worked nicely. 8:30 here. Retail sales and PPI. Retail sales are up 5.3%.
Yay.
Up versus one. You know what? I gotta do some shopping. I'm telling you, I bought some socks, over the weekend. I needed some new socks, but I need some stuff, man. I haven't been out, and I just like the online stuff. It's so aggravating because you buy it online, then it comes in the wrong size, and then you have to send it back. I mean, it's like I'm ready to get back in the stores, but 5.3 versus 1.2, that's a nice jump. People are getting out a little bit more. S&P's not reacting though. Down 4.25 here, kind of drifting towards yesterday's low at 1875.
Yeah, Kathy, I just wanted to say.
Yeah, go ahead, finish.
ACIC, and then we know Palantir. So she took a big stake. Everybody's anticipating she's going to buy Palantir. She did. She bought 1.5 million shares of Palantir. It's not up that much, probably because everybody was anticipating she's going to buy it. Plus, a lot of people got burned yesterday, so their bag holders are selling.
Oh, PPI, a little jump there. That's not good. It just rolled by.
Oh,
yeah, PPI, inflation. No, Dennis, you said these numbers don't matter. Hey, did you listen to the At the Close show yesterday, Dennis?
No, what'd you talk about?
We had Kenny on.
Kenny's always fun.
Okay. And we asked him, or Spencer asked him what Palantir does, and he said that the CIA went public.
Is that what they do? I don't. Does anybody really know what Palantir does? We talked about this in the show before.
It's intelligence data for the intelligence sector.
I trade it like every day, and I don't really know what it does.
DOD, Department of Defense.
I tell you, this PPI is shaking people up here. 1.2 versus 0.2. This is shaking.
How long before they buy the dip?
I don't know, Dennis.
3, 2, 1.
Dennis, can we do
one thing I will say is, again, the mega caps. Amazon still a little life, but Apple's starting to break down here now. You're seeing money move out of the mega caps. The big ones don't look healthy. The little stuff looks healthy. The big ones don't. There's rotation station happening here from the trade that's worked for a decade, the mega caps, into all smaller names. And I think it could continue for a while. Maybe this is the year of the small cap. It started this way.
Years.
2021 could be. It could be, Joel. I mean, we have underperformed on the IWM for a long time. And, even though I didn't like the candle on the IWM itself either, but yesterday, it's not that great of an idea to be all in right now. I just don't like the leaders, like the old leaders starting to not look
at that,
healthy.
230. Oh, that's a rock there, IWM.
On IWM, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. Buy the dip's already starting to work. It's going to rotate. Money's going to rotate, but there's a lot of stocks that aren't looking that healthy right now. So just keep that in mind. I'm still, we're still trading. We're still in a lot of these stocks. I'm still in a lot of names, but a little more caution. A little more not just full on.
Mr. Softy made a new all-time high yesterday, and people are getting all excited about it, but it got up to 244, 245 in the after hours after its earnings report. So, I mean, everyone's all excited. I mean, look at
the great report.
Yeah. January 26th is, well, no, it reported later than that, but, it did. No, I think it was the 26th. It did get nearly that high in the regular session, but I know people are just not excited about these big stocks that make money.
I'm getting some heat in the chat for not knowing that BFOI was Longview. Man, I can't keep track of the new tickers.
There's a lot.
I didn't know it either. I didn't know it. It changed 3 days ago because you know what? I have my systems that are doing my scanning.
New ones?
I have to physically add a new ticker in there. It doesn't automatically do it. These are handmade, they're homemade scanners.
Yeah.
So I got to add that in there. So I got to write it down now. I already did. BFLY. I got to change the LGVW ticker to BFLY.
Yeah.
So it takes me a couple days to realize that I just don't see LGVW showing up in my filter. I don't think about it. And obviously, you see this stock, and you're like, oh, so that's the deal with that.
Right, how many stocks a day do you get go through your filters? Hundreds, right?
I got 2,000. No, I'm running a universe of 2,000, but then I have another scanner that's running the entire universe. So I do have the entire universe running in the other ones, but my own made up stuff is 2,000. 2,000 stocks.
All right, it is 8:35. Let's bring on our guest here, Christian Fromhertz from Tribeca Trade Group. Christian, if you want to turn your camera on, that's cool. If not, we'll just hear your dulcet tones. Good morning, Christian.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good. Do we have a camera or no?
No camera today. I can show my beautiful screen though. I think that's
yeah.
That's
we
what
love your
people
beautiful
want to
screen.
see.
That's what people want to see.
Care less
Right?
what you look
Listen,
like.
we're guys in finance. You know, it's
we
not.
like charts.
I mean, your cameras are great. You guys, Dennis, your hair looks great today.
Oh, thank you, Christian. My wife cut it. It's a little bit shorter than I normally go, but you know what? We're in a pandemic still, so that's okay.
Let me share. If we want to go through some charts and
Yeah.
So what's on your radar? Talk to us about the Christian Fromhertz radar. I get a lot of good trading ideas off Twitter. I always follow you. So to give us a couple here this morning, what are you looking at?
I got Boeing. So I got a couple stocks to look at this morning. I think that maybe we start to see a little rotation into some of these things like Boeing. Obviously the financials are moving a lot on interest rates, but Boeing, I like easy setups. And what I like about Boeing here is that you got to break above the 50-day moving average. I use value areas, so you got to break above the value area. So again, an easy little setup here. But if you're looking at, if you notice what's going on with the airlines, so maybe a little bit of a reopening trade. I'm not a big fan of the airlines, but Delta doesn't look bad. Delta's actually breaking a little bit higher. There's another one that a member brought my attention to, which is ERJ. So you got maybe a little bit of I'll call it mini rotation into some of the reopening type trades, I guess you can call them. Maybe a touch of value in there too. Yeah. So I still think just as you said that the small caps, I don't think the small caps are going to go anywhere. I also like I think China's extended here, but I think any pullbacks in China. I'm a buyer of, and just talking about the financials, what's even more exciting about the financials is the China financials. I mean, this group has been in fuego. This FUTU, which I think any dips in this name continue to get bought. Such a strong and impressive name, and then it's kind of smaller name, which is a little bit less price, is this TIGR. Which again, any dips in these things, these China financials are getting bought.
Yeah, and you know what? I noticed that rotation is taking you back to the reopening trade yesterday. That was very pronounced yesterday. We haven't seen that for a while. We've seen, like you saw, I own NCLH. You saw that have a very good day yesterday by, American Airlines. The airlines, the cruise lines, Boeing was lifting yesterday too. Do you think this was a 1 day or 2 day thing, or are we starting to getting excited about these stocks again?
I think that for NCLH, I'm kind of interested in this one too, but I'm looking for a break over 25.50 for a little bit of confirmation. Yeah. But no, I think that we're going to get to the place. We're hearing the data that's coming out for COVID is starting to the corner has been turned for this. Yeah. So I think some of these things can definitely move up from where how many names have we seen that have kind of rallied from the lows. So I think it makes sense. And, I got long a little bit of Boeing yesterday, but I'm open to maybe putting on one more position in this group because why not? There's so many other areas of the market that have gotten extended. Mm-hmm. It does make sense to me that they see a little bit of a pause and maybe a little bit of a move into, the next move would be maybe into some of these more like reflation trades. And same thing with the materials and steel stocks too.
Yeah, U.S. Steel had a fantastic day yesterday, and it's continued a little bit here this morning. I mean, Nucor, has this V, obviously pronounced V, where we sold off significantly 58 to 48. We got it all back in a week and a half. So, steel, you see, are seeing materials showing some strength. This market is all still about rotation. What continues to be forgotten here right now is the mega caps. I mean, Apple is breaking down a little bit here, so it's interesting that not everything is going up in this tape. You're seeing money come out of the safety names, the names that everybody's been in for the last 10 years, and going into names that people think they can make a lot of money quickly on. It's like a little bit of a greedy market right now where I don't want to stick in Amazon and stick around for 5, 10, 15% a year. I want to go jump into something I can make 5, 10, 15% on today. And I think that rotation could continue.
Yeah, I mean, I think for now, you just kind of let it play out. I mean, months ago, when Amazon got another price target raise this morning, and nothing, like crickets,
nothing.
And that's not how it used to be. So for now, you just kind of have to realize that that's the situation. That who knows, maybe they're being used for a little bit of a source of funds. People pulling money out of like an Amazon and Apple and going to some other areas. But I'm not going to fight with the big boys and girls and what they're doing. And if they're just lethargic, I heard you talk about. Maybe a week or two ago about, selling premium in Amazon, which I think is a great idea. Continue to kind of collect money while this is going sideways, and do that trade over and over until it actually starts to break, and then you can kind of counter and do something different. But hey, if these things aren't going to move, and you kind of also see this with Tesla too.
Yeah.
Right. Tesla's, since it's moved into the S&P, everybody said, "Oh, I can't wait till this goes in the S&P." Look what it's done since it's gone into the S&P.
Yeah, it had the initial move after, and then we've had basically 2 months of just sitting around doing nothing. And
I saw an interesting.
I
saw it. Yeah, we talked about that 780 area. I saw an interesting tweet about Tesla yesterday, and I don't know if it's true or not. That the company's made more money in Bitcoin since it purchased a Bitcoin stake than it has selling cars over the last 10 years. That's what I heard. I don't know. That's what I heard. That's what I
mean,
saw
on a percentage basis.
Yeah, that's what
that was a little bit of a joke, I think.
No, I saw a tweet that said that.
No,
it's not a joke. I saw a tweet. Why would I say it if I didn't see it?
It's reasonable.
I saw it too, but I thought it was a joke.
A lot of their revenue comes from the credits, so that's a reasonable thing to say.
We're on the line with Christian Fromhertz, founder and CEO of Tribeca Trade Group. Christian, I just want to talk to you about earnings trading and not any particular stock, but just like how you approach a stock coming into earnings. Dennis talked about the pre-earnings run, the day of the report. I don't know how active you are in after hours or pre-market trading. I kind of like to look at the close on the earnings day, kind of just for like a reference point. Like, hey, what did the big boys decide? Where's the mark moving forward? Do you have any trading tips for you regarding stocks coming into earnings day, and then post earnings?
Yeah, I mean, I typically look for names that can possibly run into earnings, right? So I've been doing a few different trades with I'll either put on a call spread or I'll put on just a stock position for a name that I think can possibly run into earnings. So that worked for me for a couple of names like Shop and Square. But yeah, it all depends on if the name really moves, so for example, we're looking at Square, which I think reports next week. So for me, it's not really going to be an earnings trade other than maybe selling premium. Square is a name that I've got in my long-term portfolio. It's called the TTG Trend Portfolio. So I continue to kind of ride that name as well as like PayPal and so forth. But for earnings, I think a lot of the hot names that people want to own, they make the move prior to when they report. So I like to have that position on prior, like 2 weeks before they report earnings. And I'm looking for a move, just like Shopify, right? Shopify, I don't think is doing anything this morning because it already made the move. It's actually down a little bit. So selling premium would have worked pretty nicely, considering, it's like, where do you think this name's going to go after it already went from 1188, up to 5,300 points, right? Now, I mean, and if a name hasn't moved that much, like TDD reports this week, so I'll probably try a long call spread in the trade desk. The earnings history is not bad for the trade desk, so that's another thing that I look at is really how the company. I do think that there's something to the fact that some names like a ServiceNow, even a TDD a little bit, they rally after earnings. I think ServiceNow has rallied like 9 out of the last 11 earnings quarters. They know their management gets it. They know how to set up a call. They know how to set expectations. So there's something to that. So if a name hasn't rallied too much, right, and we could look at ServiceNow, but I love selling put spreads when ServiceNow reports. It's one of my favorite trades. So that has already happened, but I'll probably look for a long call spread in TTD because again, the earnings history justifies me putting on a trade for that, and as long as it's not extended. So I like this consolidation that maybe there is something going on that I don't know about, but I do like the fact that there's like 8 candles in a row that haven't moved, and I'm gonna target 924. Right, and you can see this consolidation here. So yeah, 924 is a level I'll be targeting with a call spread in the trade desk.
Can I just go back to the comment on Tesla and Bitcoin for a second? Chris Kachi wrote a good article about this for Benzinga. And Joel, the point you saw was that Tesla has made more of a profit on its Bitcoin than they've made by selling cars, which could be true depending on the number that you assume Tesla bought Bitcoin at in January. But yeah, that was what you saw. More of a profit on their Bitcoin investment than they've made by selling actual Teslas. All right, Christian Fromhertz, you like the trade desk. Anything else on your radar here in these next few days or weeks?
Yeah, sure. I am looking for, just as I said a few minutes earlier, that maybe a little rotation out of some extended areas. I'm actually hoping for that. I think so many names so many momentum names have gone up quite a bit. So I'm actually rooting for a little bit of a pullback in some of the high momentum, small cap, super growth, for them to pull back and maybe some things like a U.S. Steel or some of the ag stocks like a CTBA, those things to kind of actually outperform a little bit, and we could get a little bit rocky in the S&P because growth is such a bigger portion than value. But that's what I'm looking for in the near term, rather than an overall move down in the market, just kind of rotation under the hood. And then just one more growth name, as I mentioned, because I know Boeing is a little bit boring for probably most of your viewers.
I like Boeing.
But I am watching this Celsius. I don't have any of you guys tried this? The Celsius drink?
No, there are way too many drinks out there for me to keep track of. It's
CELH.
Yeah.
CELH. It's another sparkling. This is no alcohol, but energy drink. It's not bad. I recently tried it. It's been it's been another one of these growth stocks, and I'm looking for a break of 65. Sparkling energy drinks. So there's my little growth name for today.
CELH.
Nice looking chart.
Yeah, I don't mind the chart
either.
either.
Christian, we're getting a question from the chat. What are those bottom indicators?
The ones on the studies on the bottom of the screen. Yeah. So I always have RSI on here, so relative strength index, and then I've got some proprietary indicators. I've got one that's called it's kind of like an MACD, but a little bit souped up, which is called a Raptor indicator, and of course I've got volume, and I've got another indicator called breath, just a breath indicator, which I like to kind of see for confirmation purposes. Like, so for example, if we're up on the day, I like to see strong breath as a confirmation, and then vice versa too. Even if we're down on the day and I start to see breath kind of turn to the upside, it's a nice little positive indicator for me.
All right, Christian Fromhertz, founder and CEO of Tribeca Trading Group, joins us periodically on our show. We love having him on. He's a great Twitter follow. You see his handle up there, at @CFromhertz, is constantly posting headlines, charts. If you're not following him, you really should. Christian, thanks a lot for the time.
Christian, too, I just want to thank you. You've had some nice words for our coverage of the GameStop stuff, and you're always very complimentary on Twitter. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys did such a great job covering that and giving a lot of depth to, back then a couple of weeks ago, there were so many things that were misrepresented. And you guys did a wonderful job at breaking it down day by day about what's real, what's not. Just because you see these headlines out there, it doesn't mean they're true. So, you guys really shed some light on what was really going on. And a couple guests you guys brought on about market structure and short interest and how there actually could be more short interest than there's shares. There's a reason for that. And you guys did a wonderful job covering that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot. All right, I'm feeling really good about ourselves now, right? Well, not so much me. I didn't do anything. You guys.
It's funny because Dennis has been writing and thinking and this stuff for over a decade. So and then when it's kind of boring, right? But a lot of people find it. Yeah, a lot of people find it. It's when things change, when the complexion of the markets change, it's always interesting to talk about it. Let's go S&Ps. They're trying to hold 39.20 here, down 6.5.
We got a lot of selling balances, Joel.
We do.
Yeah, we do. We don't see that often, at least in this market. I think this is stocks leading us down. I'm seeing pretty much across the board a lot of opening selling balances here.
Any big ones?
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of big ones. There's a couple buys, and you know which ones those stocks are. Verizon, 787,000 to buy, and Chevron, 106,000 to buy because of Uncle Warren. But I'm looking across the board, and there's big selling balances in a lot of widely owned names. Bank of America, 500,000 to sell. GE, 400,000 to sell. I actually just checked the calendar to make sure it wasn't option expiration, because usually when we see this kind of size on some stocks, it's usually some type of a day. Coca-Cola, 163,000 to sell. I know nobody cares about these thicker names, but this is what drives the market. Disney, 61,000 to sell.
Disney, let's stop there for a second.
To sell.
Look at that. I mean, that thing. Disney? That thing got to 198 they reported in the morning.
They pulled the rug out from under it. Yeah,
198.
Did it trade over 200 after hours? I can't remember.
No, it never did.
Never did. I couldn't get over 200.
Wow.
Is this going to be another AMD? Because AMD, remember, got up to the 99 and we're going to 100 and they pulled the rug out from under it. It never gets there. So sometimes 99 doesn't give you 100. In the case of AMD and Disney, in the case of 199, not getting you 100. So, because it was like up at 198 or 199 after hours that day on the earnings. So 185 now, looking a little tired.
It did. It had, look at that run that it had before earnings. It was negative on the year and ended the year, I believe, around 180. It had to dip to 160. Everyone's like, okay, we're going to fill the gap. Then it goes pre-earnings run. Dennis, you talk about a pre-earnings run. 160 to 190 and change, in Disney actually made a new all-time high, and it's just had some problems.
I mean, we're just looking here, a Disney chart, and it's had such a run. It's had such a run.
What day was this? Yeah. Oh, wow. This got back up to 193.55 on the. That was Friday. Okay.
That was after the earnings.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That seemed like a long time ago. Anyways, we got. What do we have? We have just about 7 minutes left, and we cover everything on the dot.
Let's do some ticker time.
Yeah.
Drop those tickers in the chat. We will take a look. I want to cover Ford real fast, because you were saying all it takes is a press release with EVs, and Ford had that overnight, or I guess early this morning they announced that. I know. That's the catch.
Too big.
That's the catch. But they announced all their vehicles in Europe will be zero emissions by or hybrid by 2024.
Is that right? Wait, what's going on? We just said something happened. Dennis, cancel your bids.
In Ford?
What? No, the market.
No,
they're hearing about all these selling balances.
Dennis, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. We're coming in a little bit here. There's selling balances here. We've been talking about it for the last 10 minutes. Market's starting to roll over. They're big. Hey, Abbott Labs, if we want to go back to it just for a second, that's across the board. There's selling balances across everything in the S&P. So somebody's selling stock this morning.
Yeah, definitely.
If the sell amounts stay like this, we're gonna probably continue to leak here a little bit. So I'd be selling the rips if I was day trading here this morning.
Oh, wow. Boom. That was
Ford. Going back to Ford.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
We're all long Ford, I think. Still, are you sold your Ford, Joel?
Yeah, I'm flat. I don't know. It's getting boring. I don't know.
I'm kind of getting to that point too. I mean, I'm trying to hold on to it because I know I sell everything too soon. I'll regret selling.
It's like 12. Like, it teased you that one time. It got up to 12.15 when Deutsche Bank said it was the greatest day trade ever going into earnings, and then it barely got back up to 12 on earnings day. I mean, you got some low. Keep an eye on just these 3 lows in the same area. So I think you have someone steadily accumulating here at 11.30, 11.40. So as long as that holds, it's still good to go north. But like getting over 12, closing over 12, that'd be the next leg higher.
What are your thoughts here? Are you holding on to your Ford, Spencer?
Yeah, I'm holding on until they do the what was it? The electric Bronco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, let's do some ticker time. We asked for tickers. They gave us tickers. Let's not ignore them. All right. Let me go to the top here. Let's see who was first. I'm seeing a few CCIVs. Have you looked at CCIV today? It is crazy.
Holy mackerel, this stock. And I said it yesterday on the show, way, way wrong. I was like, wow, it's $40. I'm like, if they don't get that deal, this thing could get the beats. I mean, I don't think we had any news. Do we have an official deal or anything?
We just had we had a report from Reuters that they're nearing a deal.
Okay.
And Lucid is said to be like, I guess, one of the biggest competitors to Tesla as far as like their actual vehicles.
It's a huge name. It's a huge get. It's just a matter of, like, I thought yesterday at 41, I was like, is it all priced in? It's 53 now, so apparently not. I'll just lay off here because I wasn't right yesterday.
A couple highs in the same area. This is what is this? Is this from yesterday? I don't have the after hours market here. Let me get the after hours market. See, really the only thing you can look at is the after hours high. Is this a 24-hour? Let's see here. Boom, boom. Yeah, it is a 24-hour. It's not doing much.
Wow, it's still moving around. I had a huge move yesterday.
Not doing much. It was halted 3 times yesterday on volatility.
Yeah. That was the headline wasn't overnight here, Joel. It was yesterday.
Okay.
That's why.
It was middle. It was like at 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yesterday's high, or this high, 55 and change, 55.40. That's the most recent high. You faded $3 off it, so keep that as a potential target.
More tickers. We talked a few of these already. Rewind for Palantir. Rewind. We hit on AMD for just a second.
AMD is in the same camp as the mega caps. It's not a mega cap, but it's been in one of those leader trades, and people are raising cash to go into the crap, and AMD is a victim of that as well.
Pinterest. I saw some big hedge fund sold Pinterest in the fourth quarter. Dan Loeb cut his stake in Pinterest. Someone in the chat is asking about pins.
Unbelievable strength. Twitter, Pinterest, even Snapchat. Although Snapchat's kind of in consolidation station. I actually like that Snapchat chart. Again, if the overall market starts to get weak, you could see some money come out of these. So I'm kind of concerned on the macro picture right now. But just from if I'm just looking at Snapchat, that one looks more ready to go because it's been in consolidation station since the earnings. So if that thing can get above 65, it could be off to the races. Pinterest just runs every day. Hard to chase it here, but on a pullback, you're going to find buyers.
Yeah, the only thing you have is 89.90, the high from yesterday in PINS. So maybe you have a seller. If it gets back up there again, maybe take a peek at what's up there at 90. Nice round number. Never been up there. First things first, if you're looking at this today, you want it to go green on the session, trading down 41 cents. So 89.15, all-time closing high. Maybe a big seller up at the point at 90. Check that in your book if it comes up to that area.
Okay, let's do 30 seconds each one. We'll go back and forth between me and Joel and Spencer. We got to get Spencer's technical thoughts.
Oh, my goodness. No, you don't want that. Oh, my goodness. PGR, Progressive. Hey, all right. Low beta.
You want to take that one? You're talking about it. Spencer, take this one. Let's see how his technical
I was talking about it? When was I talking about it?
Right now you're talking about it.
I'm just Bravo Mo 1982 wants to talk about
This is AT. Okay, I'll do it. This is AT&T. This is not Verizon because of obviously it was Verizon before Warren Buffett took a position yesterday, but it's dividend play. People are raising cash. They don't want a 5.76% dividend. I like the dividend. Actually, this is the kind of stock I might stick in the long-term portfolio, but short-term, completely out of favor. People aren't looking at 5.76, 5% a year. I'm trying to make 5% a day. That's what the market's saying.
Bracket.
Hey,
yeah, we sell that crap.
Speaking of dividends,
that's what the market is saying. I like that. I like Progressive here. I think in a long-term holding here, I don't mind the stock here at all. It's getting thrown out because they don't want these kind of stocks right now. Risk-on market throws out consumer staples. You can throw Progressive in as a
30
consumer
seconds
staple
is up.
right now.
30 seconds is up.
Speaking of dividend, did you see Newmont today, NEM? It's down this morning. Big dividend raise. They raised their dividend by 37% this morning.
Wow.
From 40 cents a quarter to 55 cents.
They're doing that now?
Yeah. And it's down.
Weird.
With gold in the dumps.
The gold, yeah. Boom.
Guts.
Yeah.
Guts.
I don't know.
Okay, Walmart. They report next week.
Joel, it's you.
Walmart.
No, this week, Thursday. They report Thursday. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Thursday, nice.
You got a great area here to keep an eye on today, after hours, whenever it reports. This 146 has been pesky. 3 highs in that same area, trading below it today. But someone's looking here. 146 on the downside, just under 144. Let's call it 143.75 is your support.
SunPower has earnings after the close today. SPWR.
Sold 3/4 of my position up at 53 when I got the short squeeze. I look to rebuy it somewhere, but a hell of a lot lower. It's been on such a run. I mean, it could have continued, yes, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I wait till after the earnings. I still own a piece.
Okay. We'll do like a couple more here.
I'll do one more, and then I got to hop here.
All right. Oh, my gosh. The pressure. One more. Oh, God. I don't know what to choose.
How about anything?
Grab anything? What about Gevo? Gevo. That was just random one. Someone dropped in there.
Gevo. I mean,
Gevo,
support is support.
Las Vegas.
Yeah. Got a bunch of lows in the same area. I'm just looking at this support needs. So I like it 1330. It's got to hold 1330, and then the only other thing you have is your. Oh, I'll even look at yesterday's high. That's a ways away at 1484. So I'll let you guys finishing up. Everyone have a great trading day, and we'll be back at. I'll be back with Spencer at 3:30.
All right, that's a wrap for PreMarket Prep. I want to thank our guest today, Christian Fromhertz. Thanks to all of you in our chat. Hit that on this Dennis. You want to stay on and do a couple more with me?
I'll do 2 more. Go.
2 more? Okay, let's do CRISPR, CRSP. Let me pull up my chart here so we can
getting hit. Down $3. Wow, I haven't looked at this one for a while. It looks like, oh, wow. This is breaking down. Chart's ugly. You've broken trend. You had a heck of a run from November. I think you find support at 140. That's where you had the little double bottom back in December. You're 151. I think if you're buying here, I think you're early.
Okay. And we'll do like a couple more. FLNT? No one I've looked at recently. Okay.
Fluent. You're going off the board for me here. I do not follow this company at all. Chart looks great. I don't know what it does. I don't know anything about it. Nice consolidation after a big move. I think it resolves to the upside as long as the market stays okay. Ooh. I like this stock. I like this chart.
All right. How about FireEye here? This one got the pop on that big SolarWinds hack from a couple months ago. Yeah. And it's just been slow and steady.
And I thought FireEye was in consolidation station to go higher. I bought it 2 days ago because I'm like, I think eventually this thing could actually move higher again. And then CyberArk broke down yesterday. And now you know how I pairs trade everything. CYBR breakdown says I'm getting out of FireEye. So I had turned around and scratched my FireEye. I had bought it 2140. I turned around and sold it right around 2140. This was a swing trade that I thought if it got above 22, it could show some life. With CyberArk breaking down yesterday, because these two were moving in tandem, that makes me concerned that FireEye could follow suit. So I'm out, and I'm concerned. I watch CyberArk here as well. Takes out 20, you got problems. As long as above 20, you still got the bulls in control here. Below 20, it's ugly. Again, CyberArk's the issue for me.
CyberArk is the leader?
In this too, I wouldn't say they can lead each other, but because CyberArk had the breakdown yesterday, it makes me spooked to hold FireEye.
Yeah. Yeah, and
because CyberArk had been consolidating for the same thing, doing the same thing. Nice, beautiful cup and handle, and it resolved to the downside, which isn't typical when you see that nice cup and handle in this market. A lot of stocks do resolve to the upside or resolve to the downside, and that's why too similar of a business, Garrett FireEye could do the same.
All right, that'll be a wrap for pre-market prep. Again, I want to thank our guest, Christian Fromhertz. Thanks to all of you in our chat. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We need those likes to breathe, to eat. Hit the like, hit subscribe, hit share. Pre-market prep is also available as a podcast. Actually, all our shows are available as a podcast. If you're listening via podcast, please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Dennis, I will say goodbye to you. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck. Don't get picked off. Watch Warren Buffett. Watch Cathie Wood. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.